Hi everyone, I'm Timothy Von Rieden, better known as Vonnart Online, and I'm joined today by my partner Josh, better known as Schwa. And today we're going to be doing another color tutorial, and today's going to be a follow along. So if you want to join and color alongside me, this will be kind of a step-by-step tutorial type video. And I have the PSD in the Discord below. You can download it. And I think I'm going to keep it in there even after the stream's over, so you can download it even if you're watching this on YouTube later on. And basically we're going to go through simple ways to color a pencil drawing. And I already have the color palette here. I chose them from the reference images that are on the screen right now. I should have put those in the file as well, but I figured we'll use the color swatches more anyways. So if you guys have any questions during this, just put @vonnart during, or is yours @schwa or no?
Either or, yeah.
Either or will work. It can be comments about what we're working on, questions, or just maybe funny topics you want to engage in. And I will do my best to answer. If Josh can answer it, he will do his best. And hopefully we'll have some fun with this, because this is a fun little radish sprite guy that I drew back when I was at Emerald City, and I always kind of wanted to color this anyway, so now that I've kind of caught the color bug again, it'll be fun to color today. Now there might be a little bit of echo. I took down some of the blankets in here as I'm rearranging, realizing that I actually still do need them up. I didn't realize how echoey it is in here. It's like an echo chamber. But if you want to download that, and then at the end of the stream I will share some of your guys's demonstrations, and that will be the stream today. So hopefully we'll have some fun, and I don't know. I guess before we get, as you guys are downloading this, I guess we should point out that yes, we're sick, and it was confirmed that we got COVID. Thankfully, we're thinking that we're past the worst of it. I had a couple days that were pretty rough, and then one of the hiking days was not fun for me. But we made it back to Wisconsin. We're taking it easy. We're drinking a lot of fluids, and as of right now, the worst of it seems to be past. But I did lose my sense of taste and smell completely, and I think Josh is ramping up with us
this morning. Yeah, it's fine.
Which is really weird. I don't think enough people talk about how weird it is to lose your sense of taste and smell. But hopefully, I'll gain it back in 2 weeks. Hopefully, that's what I keep reading. But if any of you guys were wondering, we wanted to be pretty transparent about it and kind of share the experience of it along the way. It doesn't seem to be debilitating, so I'm able to still work, and even the past few days we've been able to get a lot done. So I just feel very lucky, and I wanted you guys to know that that's what's happening. And yeah, I still want to do what I regularly do. I don't want to just sit in my bed all day. So here we are with the stream. And hopefully you guys, I don't know, have fun alongside with us today.
Yeah.
Because we don't want to just be Debbie Downers about it.
I feel pretty fortunate because it really hasn't been that bad for us.
Okay, so you ready?
Yeah.
All right, well, for those of you who are watching, let's go ahead and start coloring our little radish sprite. And then we'll get into some fun conversations. But to start off, take the radish spirit layer, and the thing I always do with my pencil drawings is I always change it to a multiply layer and then color underneath of it. So we're gonna make a layer underneath of the radish spirit multiply layer, and this is gonna be, I guess we can call it base color. I normally, not even spell that right. I normally don't label my layers. I'm not a very organized artist in that sense, but for the purpose of streaming, I guess we can go ahead and do that. So there's a couple ways you could go ahead and start this drawing. Some things that I know people like to do is work on a neutral gray, and it's something I've definitely preached in the past. So I'm gonna go ahead and continue with that today. Now normally this is to help give a better sense of your values and your scale, because you want a good range of values, but drawing on a white background can be intimidating. And oftentimes you're not going darker than you need to, or you're going too light, and usually a neutral background can help diffuse that. So then we're going to have, oops, actually I'm going to name that neutral gray. Oh my gosh.
Oh no.
Cannot spell worth crap today. So the new layer on top of that, this will be the base color layer. And this is where we're going to fill in the entire character and then use that. We can either mask layer it, and I mean, there's plenty of other ways to do it, but you know what? Today we're going to do the mask layer technique. So basically, if you're working with a brush, just work with a circle brush, and I'm going to just fill in basically everywhere that the drawing is. It's kind of like a paint by numbers, essentially. And sometimes if you have really crisp lines, you could literally use the selection tool. But since it's getting some of this slightly pixely look to it that I'm not that big of a fan of, well, you know what, actually, okay, I'm going to teach you how to do it this way because I feel like this is the more efficient way, and I'd rather teach you guys how to be efficient when doing digital stuff. So if you go on your toolbar, let me put it so you guys can see it on the screen. So it's basically the magic wand tool, and you click that, and then you select an area in the background. Now my tolerance is set at 10 on the top. I know you guys can't see it on the screen, but on the very top there's a sub menu bar, and I'm choosing my tolerance to be 10. And basically that means it'll grab more of the pixels, and you see how there's some areas that are still not selected? Just hold shift and you'll see the plus and the magic wand tool again, and then you click in the areas that you want to add to the selection. And the reason that this is very helpful is because otherwise we would be going in, like what I was about to do, and literally try to color every single strand first and foremost. Oh, you know what? Also right there and right there. Okay, so now switch back to your brush tool, and this is the magic of the magic wand. Oops, I forgot to do the, so we selected the outside of the subject matter. So from here we got to inverse it. So you go to select on the top menu bar and choose inverse. So everything that was selected in the background is now going to select everything within the subject matter. And now when we go to our brush, you can see how it will only paint within the character. I forgot that you don't know these.
I could imagine myself getting to that point and then not knowing the inverse parts. I'd be like, what the heck did I just do?
Yeah, so then from here we do, well, on my Mac it's Command D, so you deselect. And you can see how for the most part it kind of colored the character. There's going to be some edgy fuzziness that we're going to have to clean up, and that's totally okay. I was borderline expecting there to be even more, so this is actually not that bad. So if you want, you can clean this up a little bit here. I know I'm not going to spend too much time on it because I don't mind a little bit of the roughness on the edge, but definitely up here I want it to be a bit smoother.
Oh my god, Tigil sees the stash. Tigil says, who's that, Tim, who's that man sitting next to you? I kid you not, Tigil, right before we started I did that to Tim. I was like, I feel like a man today. I normally don't have this much. I lost my razor when we got back from Colorado. This is what I live with now.
He's just a man forevermore now.
Right. Yeah, this is the only spot I can grow facial hair, so let me have my moment.
There we go. Now, this is the way that I usually prefer coloring things. I know everyone has their own method, so if this seems kind of tedious to you, you don't have to obviously do this when you color things in the future. This is just one way of doing things, and then maybe you'll pick something up along the way where you're thinking, oh, I kind of like that step. I'm going to at least borrow that for my own way of coloring. But I will say this definitely can cut a lot of time rather than going through and selecting every single, or coloring every single thing without the selection tool. And it's really only that bad where I had some of that background shading. We're gonna get rid of that. And you'll see how nice and effective this can be when shifting the colors. And I'll even admit I don't do this for everything that I color either. Sometimes I just go in with a bunch of color splat and try to make the best of the scenario with it. You know, I kind of like the fuzziness there. Kind of gives more texture.
Digital says you're giving me cowboy vibes. Maybe it's because I watched Brokeback Mountain for the first time yesterday. That was like such a rite of passage movie for me.
Why can't I quit you? Okay, I feel like this looks pretty good. Let's see, Leo. This magic wand selection tool method in my program, Paint Tool side, the edges of the color get really jagged and pixelated. Is that a problem with my program, or is that in Photoshop too? Usually if it's a problem in Photoshop, you got to change the tolerance. I haven't worked with Paint Tool side, so I'm not too familiar with its selection tools. But I don't know if it has as good of a selection as Photoshop does. If someone does use Paint Tool side, if you could help him out, that'd be great. Oh, thank you, Jonathan Lindell. My floor has to be framed so Tim I always find these insightful and loving. The return of foundational best practice. Oh. So Jonathan is someone that I've been following for like the past 6 months about his book that he's making. He's writing this little or not even a children's book, like young adult, I want to say. And it's being kickstarted in September. But I just feel like you have to be the nicest person in the world.
Aww.
The way he talks about just the process and his day-to-day, it just seems like you are living like this fantasy life where everything is very peachy.
Aww.
Okay. Does everyone feel like they have the base colors that's working alongside me? Maybe I'll give a minute just in case people are still erasing things. What's something that we could talk about while people are finishing in? Oh, I know.
Do we watch something?
When we were in Colorado, we found this board game, and it's basically Mega Clue. If any of you have played Clue, imagine if they add like 4 more suspects, 3 more weapons, and like 4 more rooms. The game is definitely longer, but it is awesome.
Oh yeah, it was fun. You can have up to 10 people play compared to
10 people.
What is the regular game, like 5 or 6 people?
6.
6, yeah.
I think 6. Yeah, 6.
Yeah, so 4 extra people.
Yeah, it was great. What else was there? Oh, did we watch anything? I mean, I watched Mighty Ducks yesterday. That was. You know what I realized though? American movies specifically, they kind of recycled and rotated the same kids in the same movies at that time. Because the kids in Mighty Ducks, I realized a couple of them were in heavyweights, like 3 or 4 of them, and then a couple of them were in Sandlot. And then I'm just watching this being like, wait, I know you from somewhere. And I kept Googling where they were. I was like, oh, you were in this movie, or you were in this movie. So that was kind of crazy to see. And then some of the main character kid in Mighty Ducks, I was like, I know I've seen you in many other things. I looked him up. He was in like Cruel Intentions. He was in one of the Scream movies.
Oh, they just rotated him.
Well, he became like an actor.
Oh, okay.
But a lot of the kids seemed to be like literally filming one movie, and then as soon as they were done, okay, next film, we're gonna borrow some of the same characters. And even one of the goalie, Goldberg, his same character was brought into heavyweights and basically was the same thing. I was like, well, I guess that's how they rotated in the 90s.
I mean, it's so weird because I guess they just do school while they're working.
I guess, probably. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to start adding on some of the values to make this look three-dimensional. No, I'm sorry. First, we're going to do base colors of the leaf and the little string part on the sprite. So we're going to make a new layer, And now this is where masking comes into play. So on a Mac, and I believe on a PC it's Control, but on a Mac, hold Command and then click the layer that you want to mask. So actually click within the layer box. And you can see how there's marching ant selection tool around the entire subject matter. Basically, whatever is in that layer you just clicked. Now, on your layer menu here, on the very bottom, there's a box with a circle in it. That is your masking option. You click it, and you can see how it created this black layer box that seems to have like a silhouette of whatever is masked out. So we're going to click on the layer on the left. So that's the layer we want to paint in, because if you paint on the black and white layer, that's going to either add or take away from your mask. So we're going to click on the left. And now the magic of this is it will only paint within the selection. So this will make it even easier to switch between your colors. So now for this leaf, we're going to make this a nice green.
Oh, this is like my coloring apps I use.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Your coloring apps.
Yeah, the coloring book app.
I mean, honestly, I don't think I'm going to fill it in solid. I kind of like the gradation between red and green. Kind of gives this unnatural magic earthy look to it.
It's still kind of weird how the Cintiq is like a slightly different color.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
I don't know which one I like better. It doesn't help that we have this ring light right here. So I have to like scoot in.
Yeah, that's weird. Maybe that should be like on your Christmas list this year.
A new Cintiq.
A new Cintiq, yeah.
I mean, this one is getting old. And I feel like now that I want to get back into color a bit more. Well, we'll see. We'll see.
Felix says, have you been watching Umbrella Academy on Netflix? Second season just came out. We never watched the first one.
I never watched the first one. I know my roommates were really this is gonna sound so bad, and Tyler, I'm sorry if you're watching. But usually some of my roommates, if they really like something, that's a good indication that I probably won't like it.
I like how you specify Tyler. Tyler, if you're in here.
Well, me and Tyler always had very different tastes in movies. Like, he loves the whole cinematic Marvel universe. Like, he watches every single one. Where for me, I'm like, I could definitely pass on it. I mean, some of my roommates had similar, like Sean, I would say we had very similar tastes. But then, like, Key, we were very different. So I don't know. I mean, I guess we could give it a try. I'm never opposed to at least trying a series.
Someone else, was one of the cousins maybe recommended it to us too?
I mean, that's probably even more alarming.
Yeah. Oh, Simon, hello. Hello, Simon.
Hi, Simon. How are you doing? So I'm grabbing this kind of brownish color to be the string, kind of like a natural tie color, like a twig or something. Yeah, I kind of like. I know it looks so different on that screen. That's so bizarre.
I kind of like it though.
Like it's a little too saturated for my likes on that screen. I'm sure I'll desaturate it at the end.
Fidgety Fox says they're still doing that. I mean, look at the kids in Stranger Things, and it remake. Hollywood only gets 7 kids at a time, I guess. Actually, true, yeah.
Very true, because now you see them everywhere.
Yeah.
Especially when I watched the It movie, I was like, three, or is it 2 or 3 of these kids seem to be like from.
Yeah. It was basically like Stranger Things, just with
clowns.
Pennywise, yeah.
So I think I'll make his eyes more light. Yeah. So I'm gonna kind of do the reverse of how the radishes are seen in this picture. So normally they're supposed to be like very solid red and then kind of get white. Well, you know what? Maybe I'll try it. I don't know if I'll like the white tip as much as I like the dark tips. So this is going to be a test. I'm not even sure if I'm going to stick with this. No, I do not.
Oh,
I don't know if I like that.
back to square one. Simon says, I'm doing all right. Been having a rough couple weeks between medical stuff and everything that happened in Lebanon, but we are pulling through. How are you guys doing? Simon,
besides COVID, pretty okay. I know the world just seems to be on fire right now.
Hope you're doing all right though, Simon. Good to hear you're pulling through, but
You know, I don't like that either.
yeah, and the Lebanon thing was definitely like as if this year couldn't get any more worse.
This has been such a crazy year. I don't even think there's like a good way to say it anymore. This year is just on fire.
I think it makes me sad too, because if anything, like these kind of things that go on in the world should honestly bring us all more together. But I feel like if anything, it's been like tearing people apart more, which is really sad.
Well, I know specifically in America, because it's an election year, everyone's making everything about politics.
Yeah, it's just like really, really unfortunate.
Oh, it looks so weird on that screen.
I like it though. Even actually, Fem says on your stream you have this beautiful blood-like red, and on my PC it is this pinkish red. Guess I need to recalibrate my screen. Yeah, we're getting the same thing because on Tim's it's like on the Zentique it is like kind of a darker red.
Yeah, it's weird.
It's really actually I like the color in the Zentique a lot. But yeah, on the stream then it has this like brighter red. Oh, that looks cool though.
With the white?
Actually, yeah, I like the white.
Do you? Better than the dark tint?
I mean, if I was using my coloring app, I probably would keep the white.
I was using my coloring app. Okay, so then these are essentially my base colors. I mean, obviously for some people you might have more like flats, but I have always enjoyed having some of the base layer bleed through. So from here, I'll make another layer, mask it out again. And honestly, I might switch to my chalk brush. Get a little more texture in here. So now I'll start building up the values. So I'm gonna what I call pillow shade, where I put the lightest value here, and then to the edges, we're gonna kind of spread out that lighter value. And I'll try to make this white area look good. I feel like I'm still not crazy about it.
Oh, Simon says, thankfully most of my family in Lebanon are all right. It was very scary though. Oh yeah, that is really scary, Simon.
That's incredibly scary.
Yeah. Yeah, it's one of those things like since I don't personally know people there, you don't personalize it as much. But like now knowing even that you had family there kind of makes it more like
more real.
Yeah.
As kind of bad as that sounds, but it's true.
I hope you're doing all right then too, because that had to be just a lot of stress on you.
I am not sold on this white.
Really? I think it looks really cool.
Let's look on the stream. I just don't know.
What are you thinking then besides that, you think?
I think because my black pencil lines are so dark, it just looks kind of muddy. So I guess I will have to paint over my lines a little bit. Pull it down more. So I'll probably work on one area to the next. So I'll start with the radish, and then I'll do the leaves, and then I'll do the tie, and then I'll do his lower body. So I'm looking at the reference specifically, and I'm kind of seeing where the lighter parts are, how the light kind of interacts with the surface. Honestly though, I might switch back to my round brush. I feel like I'm getting way too much texture right now. I want to get more just like color. And sometimes that'll happen with brushes where you'll realize you're adding a lot of texture, but maybe it's too soon for that much texture to be passed on. And I'll switch between my circle brush and my chalk brush is kind of my indication between where I want texture and where I want it to be a bit more smooth. And then sometimes I'll do this like slight bounce light on the back just to round it out more. I guess whoever was that Felix that mentioned the Umbrella Academy?
Yes, yeah.
Would you recommend it? Because I know even last night my cousin recommended the show called C, which was an Apple original. I watched the first episode and honestly I was not feeling it that much. The shows that we have been feeling though, I really liked the Good Morning America, or what's it? The morning show?
Morning show, yeah.
Yeah, that's been really interesting to me.
Good. Well, it's got has Jennifer Aniston too.
Miss America was pretty interesting. We still got to go back to that one. Oh,
that's right. We never finished that one.
Josh, I think, is interested in watching the Pose show. We kind of watched the first couple episodes of that one.
Oh yeah, our friend Kyle really likes that one. I don't know. I like the some of the actors in there a lot too.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to think what else. What was that HBO movie you watched with what's his name?
Oh, American Pickle.
Yeah, American Pickle.
Yeah,
I fell asleep. I might try it again eventually.
No, you will not.
I mean, usually if I fall asleep, that's a sign for me that the movie doesn't work for me.
If you fall asleep, there's 50% chance that's because you're just always tired.
Very true. Won't deny that.
I feel like I can never tell what you're interested in, because if we watch anything past 11 p.m., there's a good chance you're falling asleep. Like a really good chance you're falling asleep.
But when you watch a movie, I gotta get all snuggled up. I get really cozy. Just like a recipe for falling asleep. Simon says, I thankfully have been taking it easy the last few days. That's probably good.
Mm-hmm.
Just get some rest.
Yeah, for sure.
Aaron says, I like the pencil work with the white area. Makes it look like he just came out of the ground and hasn't been washed yet.
Oh, I guess that's kind of a cute way to see it.
Oh, yeah.
You know what? I don't know if I'm digging white eyes. I feel like if I do yellow, though, it's going to look so much like Final Fantasy.
Just go for it.
Maybe like a light green. I feel like that's more not Final Fantasy. Let's see what this looks like. You know what I can do? Okay, so this is a good example of if you're ever stuck, make a new layer if you want to adjust colors on something, and then fill it in completely. I'm doing here. And what we're going to do is then open up your hue saturation slider menu, and you can find that under image. Now let's see different colors here.
I mean,
ooh, actually, maybe darker. That is a very good possibility. Actually, I might go dark on that one. I don't like it that saturated though.
Definitely a choice. I kind of want this to be a minion on Final Fantasy 14.
Say that again.
The little minions on.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Little followers.
Yeah. Oh, Felix got back to us on that. I really like it. If I could compare it to anything, it has sort of a Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children vibe, which I love those books. I think the author Ransom Riggs actually is still making more books.
I think I've only seen the movie of that series.
So if you didn't like that, you probably don't like Umbrella Academy either. Did you like the movie?
It was fine.
I mean, the movie is pretty good, actually. I like those books a lot, though. No,
I always hear the books were way better.
I mean, isn't that most things?
That's very true.
Vem says, I really love the story and characters of the Umbrella Academy, but just the cinematography alone is also really nice in my opinion.
I mean, I'm definitely willing to give it a try.
Fidgety Fox even chimed in saying Umbrella Academy is quite comic booky as it's based off one. A lot of gimmicky things that carries its gravity more in connection with the characters. Superpowered kids from a broken home.
I mean, I'm not the biggest superhero fan, but if it's different enough, I could get behind it.
Yuki, that would make such a cute minion in Final Fantasy XIV.
If this guy's just following.
I just started playing again yesterday because not Stormblood, Shadowbringers. I've not done anything with that expansion yet, so I'm leveling myself up. When it's hard because you have to level up. You can have different classes on the same account, so I have to level up 3 because I have all 3 healers and then 1 DPS that I level up. So I have to level up 4 different classes from 70 to 80.
I don't know how you have the energy.
I mean, I'm at home anyways right now, so.
I mean, true.
Right?
Very true. So now, when I'm looking at the bottom of the body, there's kind of these natural kind of layers to his body that I can work off of with my color. So this is another good example of like working with your pencils rather than against. Let me give him some kind of a cast shadow from the leaves. I mean, he's getting there.
He's getting there.
I'm still not sold on the yellow eyes or the white tops, but I think you guys are trying to make me a believer here.
I mean, I think those eyes are definitely more like orange. It's golden.
Oh, they are.
Oh, okay.
No, but I mean like if I want to change them or not.
Oh, to more of yellow?
Or not even yellow. Yeah, I don't know what color I'm looking for here.
Asian says, first time catching Livestream. Hello. Well, welcome.
Hello.
Thanks for stopping. Felix says, it's not like Marvel at all. Those bore me to death.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good to know.
Kyle, what is up, y'all?
Kyle.
Kyle.
I was just talking about you.
Actually, yeah, we were talking about Pose. Still have to finish, but...
There was another movie we did watch recently that I really liked. Oh, I love mockumentaries, and when we were in Colorado, there's this one called Cook-Off or Bake-Off, Cook-Off. I think it's Cook-Off. It wasn't that amazing, but what was really fun is I kind of re-sparked my love for mockumentaries, and I found out there's a horror one. There's one about a serial killer, kind of like Freddy, Jason, same vein. And it's called Behind the Mask. I haven't seen it yet, so I don't want to recommend it. But if you're someone that enjoys like the What We Do in Shadows or Best in Show or...
Well, it was the one we watched on...
American Vandal.
Yes, American Vandal. I think that's probably my favory mockumentary I've seen.
That's definitely the best series by far. That's a mockumentary that I've ever seen. If there's any that we can recommend, American Vandal. If you don't like that, I mean, it is the first season is a little more potty humor. Well, no, the second one, I don't know. I like when mockumentaries take themselves very seriously, though, like too seriously.
I mean, we don't deny it. We all like potty humor still. It still makes me laugh. Some
of the jokes I'm like, fine. But then when it's used in like a clever way, like that's where I think it's really funny. But when it's just like a fart joke, I'm like, well,
I mean, they get me every time.
They got schwa, hook, line, sinker.
Right, that's how you get me. If you don't think you're funny, just do a potty humor joke with me and I'll think you're hilarious.
I'm gonna test that out. I don't even know if that's true or not. I'm gonna have Kat come over and just make weird jokes to you and see what happens.
Tim, if you fart, I start laughing. Like, I just think it's funny.
I don't know. All right, we're gonna choose this really light green. You can see the difference before and after. So we're just adding to what's already there from the pencils. I think the biggest mistake people make when they're coloring their pencil stuff is that they just cover over everything. And it almost seems like, well, why did you even start it traditionally anyways if you're just going to cover it all? So I try to be a little more careful with letting the texture of the pencil and the graphite that is moved around be seen and not let it be covered. So I guess that would be one of my biggest advice when doing this kind of stuff. You know, the sleeve definitely needed way more. I like to also give some edge color to separate the forms. You can see how that kind of separates that leaf there. Oh, Andrea. Well, thank you, Andrea.
Uh-oh, where's the bell? Uh-oh.
Josh lost his bell.
Where's the bell? Think. There we go. Yuki says Shadowbringers is really good. The story is so intense and worth reading. And yes, the urge to level is hard to shake. Yeah, actually Shadowbringers has been, because I only got through like the level 70 quest yesterday, but I'm sure you know which cutscene I'm talking about, but there's one cutscene where it was terrifying. And it was like within the first couple quests of the new expansion. So I like the plot line so far for it though, with the whole light and the illness from that. Unix says yours looks so 3D already.
Yeah, this is little guy. Well, that's kind of the fun of a pencil drawing that already has a lot of the values and the shading to it, is essentially then you're just heightening, or you're allowing the form to speak without color being a distraction. And I'm doing my best to have that happen. I definitely chose like a really easy subject matter. Like this is a pretty easy guy to work with. So I'm gonna actually choose a lighter brown.
Do you know of any artists? I'm sure there's actually a lot that will actually do color over a fully.
Oh, a lot of artists do. So a lot of artists don't render pencil to this degree. So
yeah.
They literally just use pencil as an underdrawing.
Okay.
Which in a lot of ways, that's kind of what pencil is meant for. I feel like it's only recently has pencil kind of come into his own from it being seen more as a finish medium. I feel like Alan Williams definitely helped create that trend, and these other artists like Vellarte and Miles, and hopefully I feel I can put myself in that crowd of artists that want pencil to be seen as something more serious and something more finished. And when I bring color into it, I try to have the pencil still shine as like the not only the underdrawing but the main drawing, and then color is essentially like the underdrawing of it. But you know what though? This little area here should not be colored in.
Nice catch. Lena says, just jumping on the stream, but I also recommend Umbrella Academy. That's like, what, 4 or 5 people now. Even if you don't like superhero movies, I would recommend it. It discusses being born a superhero from an interesting view.
I'll give it a try. Because there's, what, 2 seasons now?
Yeah. Yeah, I think it like just came out, right? The 2nd season?
I think so, yeah.
It always like is on the top of Netflix every time I pull it up. Kyle says American Vandal is Primo, right? Primo?
Ah!
Primo?
Wait, does that mean you like it, Kyle? What does he say?
Oh, yeah.
So Kyle is definitely someone who I definitely adhere to his recommendation. So Marvel Man in the chat is Kyle. He's one of our good friends, and I think he
just had a big move too.
Yeah, big move to Texas from Illinois, and his movie recommendations I feel like are great because they're more atypical. Same with our friend Deandra Pop. Whenever she recommends something to me, I'm like, okay, I know it's gonna be something at least different. Even if I don't like it, I'll still appreciate that it's different. Because I'm sure Josh is sick of me having to say this, but like I want to see new and fresh and something that I haven't seen before, even if it's not good, over something that might be really polished, but it's not like a new or fresh idea.
Kyle defined wait, is it? Oh my gosh, Kyle, you almost made me say Pimo. But I said it though. Primo equals great top shelf. Primo. I want to say Primo. Have you played the game Franbo? It's a creepy, cute story game, and I love the art in it. Okay, I think this was when I just Franbo. I think this was only. I just looked.
I don't think I've ever even heard of this.
Yeah, actually, I've seen this before in Steam. Here's like, it's got a funny.
No, I've never. It looks like we were just talking about the first American Alice McGee's art.
Oh yeah.
Well, I know Josh is looking. If you guys have any good horror game recommendations, because as the season's coming up, I definitely get into watching the movies, and Josh gets into playing the games. I realize though, there's not like one good Halloween game. Not like the horror Halloween, but just like a Halloweeny vibe game. Like all of them are kind of knockoff fantasies, like Folklore when that came out on PS3.
Oh yeah.
But there isn't like a Halloween themed centric game that I could think of.
We need like a Halloween battle royale where it's trick or treating, and you have to get the most candy out of all the
there kind of
players.
is a game like that. It's called Costume Quest.
Oh, serious?
Is
it like
not horrible? It's just
you like create a character. There's 100 players. You're thrown in a neighborhood, and whoever has the most candy at the end.
Oh, I mean, that'd be kind of fun.
Yeah, and you get like 5 minutes. You gotta get lucky.
So now that I've kind of created some good base everywhere, I'm going to do one more mask, and now I'm going to add just a little fantastical touches here and there. Kind of give a little bit more magic to this guy. Because as much as I definitely have a root in realism and how I shade things, I definitely like having there be a little bit of fantastical intuition that gets placed alongside. And then we'll do some color shifting, which is really fun.
Simon says me and Jesse both loved Umbrella Academy. All right, so that's another mark then too. We'll give it a go. Or I guess you'll probably watch it. I don't know if I'll watch that one.
Why? I feel like you're more into that than I am. And it has Ellen Page in it.
Oh, Ellen Page is in it, you say?
I love Ellen Page. Right?
Yeah. Oh, that reminds me, we never finished that Gaycation show either, actually. That was a good one.
Yeah.
With Ellen Page, yeah. Kyle says I'm replaying Last of Us while Ellen watches. Are you going to play the second one then?
Yeah, that's what I'm curious about.
Actually, that's probably a good idea, though. We'll play through the first one then, and then... Because I feel like there's definitely a lot of references to the first one and the second.
I was just talking to my best friend Kat about it. I can't finish Last of Us 2 because it's so violent. And I never thought I would be that person, considering I played Vice City when I was like 13. But as a 30-year-old, it is so undeniably violent that I feel uncomfortable playing it. I'll let someone recommend PT.
Yeah.
I still have PT on my PS3.
Oh, seriously?
I'm one of the few people that have it.
No, I remember playing it. I forgot about that.
But I gotta figure out what I want to do with these eyes.
Do you want me to keep talking? Do you want me to keep talking?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know if you need it.
I don't know if I like...
Someone... I don't know if they read the comment. I thought I saw one. I know someone really liked the black eyes.
Yeah, I don't hate the black eyes.
Yeah. Oh, Jonathan says, thanks so much, guys. Glad you're enjoying the peachy Scottish updates. I just finished and popped up a pencil piece for a Kickstarter reward back. Kickstarter reward back to pencil pieces is definitely refreshing. You have to show me Jonathan's stuff then too.
Just imagine like, what's funny is he looks so much like Tyler. Like imagine Tyler, but he has like the personality and charm of like this warm mountain man.
Oh.
But then he's creating like this book that's about this young girl and her adventures. Just, it almost is like, imagine if a grandfather reads you a book. I hope that's not insulting. It just, you have this very warm presence to you.
Yeah, now I really want to see it.
But I'm very excited. I will be one of your backers on Kickstarter because I am very much impressed with how much care and effort you're putting into this, and I know how difficult it can be. How do we feel about like...
Oh, that's cute.
Okay, I think I'm into that. Yeah, I think I can get down to that.
Basil recommends Outlast. I played Outlast a few times now, and I love that game. So I probably will play it again this year.
Is that the one I watched you play last year?
I think I did Outlast 2 last year.
Okay.
The Outlast game's the one... Yeah. The second one's like a cult kind of place. The first one's takes place in a... like a mental ward.
Oh.
Yeah.
Which one do you like better?
The first one for sure.
Okay.
Yeah. It's spooky. Kyle says also I watched Paris as Burning and struggled because of what Tim told me about the director.
Yeah.
What happened with that?
So basically Paris is Burning, if you guys haven't seen it yet. It's a very, I guess, like iconic gay and drag queen film. And it films a lot of these drag queens in kind of a poor area that kind of were the origins of House and a lot of the show competitions that you see in, I guess, Pose, the show nowadays. But the directors of it didn't really pay a lot of the people they were filming. So imagine if like a film crew came in and recorded your lifestyle and then it became like this cult hit, but didn't really pay you for it, but then made money themselves. So it's like,
that's messed up. Yeah.
Yeah. It's one of those situations where, because I think it was late 80s, early 90s, I don't think there was as much of a obligation or a sense of obligation to pay who you're filming. I think nowadays that would be completely, that wouldn't even be a question. But I think back then, unfortunately, it was something that you just saw it as, I'm going in, I'm recording your culture, and the exposure you get should be payment enough. And unfortunately, obviously, that is not enough. And I think we're seeing that ring true across every platform, not even just in gay culture, but even with like art culture. I think it's almost insulting now when someone says, I'll pay you with exposure. As it should be. That is insulting.
Yeah, it is. Simon says this is coming out so pretty. I don't know why I never really thought about coloring over my pencil drawings.
Well, the key word there is coloring under your pencil drawings. Because I haven't even started coloring over my pencil drawings yet. And Simon, I think you should definitely give it a try, because as fun as pencil is, you can get some really cool... Ooh, that is way too bright. You can get some really cool stuff digitally that you cannot get with pencils. Like obviously with this, I couldn't get that same vividness, that same kind of warmth that you get from the character with just the pencils.
This is so cute.
Do you like
it? Yeah.
What's funny is doing digital again. Actually, I might have it open. Do I have it open? I had to do a small freelance commission for my old boss. Yeah, I can show you guys. And it's all color. And I did it so quickly. And I remembered how much fun I have working digitally. So now these were not done in pencil first. These were just, go straight into color. I wonder if I even have... Was I that bold that I flattened everything? Yeah, I think I was. So I think that was the initial color. And then you just keep editing and editing and editing, giving it more smooth shading, blah, blah, blah. And there it is now. So like I love coloring in Photoshop, and I'm like trying to rekindle that as I think more about getting back into Grizzy's backstory illustration. You know what? I guess I can show you guys that too. Now that I'm like just excited to just share. Ooh, ignore all my files though. So much. But this one I'm very excited about because this will be my 6th character backstory illustration. And Grizzy is the one character where if I talk about her enough, and Josh has seen this, I'll start like tearing up.
Yeah.
Just because I feel such a relatableness to her right now. I think because as I'm getting older and I can kind of see my youths behind me, and Grizzy's this very like old grizzled character that is missing her husband. He's lost, and she doesn't really have any friends anymore. And I just want to explore her character. So when this opens, you'll see where I'm at with it. It's not very far.
I don't think I've even seen this one yet.
Really? Oh, have I not showed you this?
Have you worked in it recently? Unless if it's the oldest. I've seen Grizzy's stuff. I don't know if you've done something recently though.
Like I did a little bit of it in January. We'll see when it opens.
Yeah.
It's the one with her at a bar.
Oh.
Josh is like, oh, yes, that one, yeah.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Oh, God, this looks horrible on the screen, though. Hold on. Ugh. Tim, what are you doing with these color washes? Well,
what? It looks good.
It looks way too fuzzy. But essentially, I like the idea of her going to a very social environment, this bar-type area, and everyone's interacting, everyone's talking, except for Grizzy. No one's talking with her. And I think this is something that I'm going to reincorporate throughout the story is she's this boisterous character who always brings a lot to the table, but no one ever wants to sit at the same table with her. And I want to explore kind of what it means to be older, what it means to be in a generation that isn't the same. Like she's always around younger people, and I think there's a disconnect there. And obviously her experience and her life that no one wants to really hear about because they have their own lives to experience. So I'm excited to get back into Grizzy's, and I think even doing all this color stuff, it's getting me back into that mindset again. But like I said, once I finish these commissions, I am back into my old world of creating because I had been so distracted with all of that. Okay, this is actually really awesome. This is going by really fast.
I'm just going to catch up a little bit.
Oh, yes.
Artiver Khan says, when Tim is drawing, it looks like he has a floating pencil crown, but it's actually the pencils in the background. Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Forward a little bit. Yeah, look.
Totally unintentional.
Just
actually, slowly but surely, you're going to start to see this room change until mid-September. And then mid-September, it's going to be like probably spooky.
We're definitely gonna try the best we can. We need like floating pumpkins in here too.
Mm-hmm.
Unix says I recently played Outlast with 2 friends because we were scared, and we upped the difficulty and split the controls. One was the mouse, and I did the whole keyboard stuff.
Oh my gosh,
that's a lot of trust in your friends.
That is a lot of trust. Splitting the oh my gosh.
Especially when you're getting chased, like you have to be in unison with that.
Could not imagine trying to do that with you.
I'd get frustrated for sure.
You would totally get frustrated.
Because you'd be like, Tim gets really scared.
I get really scared.
Yeah. I'd be like, Tim, we gotta go. Like, Fidgety Fox is an old scary game I never finished but enjoyed. Was Fatal Frame. And Fidgety Fox says because before I quit because it wigged me out.
Weirdly, you're not even gonna believe this. I played Fatal Frame.
Fatal Frame was fun.
We played it at my friend had a cabin growing up, and there was a family video nearby, so we'd always rent for whatever reason horror movies. Like that's where I saw like Freddy vs. Jason and Wait Until Dark, like some kind of really scary movies. But then games, for whatever reason, we always thought it'd be so fun if we played horror games. So I played Fatal Frame. I was dying because that's the one, at least from what I can remember, you don't have weapons or you don't have a way to defend yourself. You can barely run. It's like a slight jog at that. And all you have to try to do is get the ghost.
Get the shot.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh.
I see. It's funny because I never found Fatal Frame scary, but I'm so... Yeah, it's just...
I can't
I think the only game that ever I remember scared me was the Amnesia games when they first came out. Because I played those in the dark.
Yeah.
But I think that was like my first horror game experience. But after those, like nothing scares me for some reason.
What?
Yeah, I'll play in the dark. Alien Isolation, I think I was a little scared, but that's like my favorite horror game. And even that doesn't really
I'm surprised because that one's not really scary.
That game's scary if you have headphones on and you're playing in the dark, though. Because the entire time you can just hear the alien in the vents. It just boom, 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 boom. But it doesn't scare me.
What was that game with the little Alma girl?
Little Alma?
Or is that Silent Hill? No, what's the one? Fear. Okay, I tried playing Fear. This is one of the moments where I literally I jumped in my chair and I completely took myself out of it because you get in a vent and you have to crawl forward. Have you played this?
I don't think I've played Fear, no.
This isn't even really a spoiler, but you crawl through a vent and then basically imagine the Grudge girl running at you through the vent and passes through the camera.
Yeah.
And it's supposed to be just like a jump scare. It scared the out of me. Yeah, it's this girl. Type in vent after this.
Vent. Is this gonna give you nightmares?
Is it gonna do a GIF? God, I hate GIFs on YouTube search.
No, it's just the YouTube clip.
Oh no, that's different. Okay. Let's just say I was not expecting it at all.
I think I've played this game before.
Oh, he has the YouTube pulled up. Yeah, this is it.
See, for me though, any horror game that I have a gun like this, I just don't find it as being horror for some reason.
I mean, I do agree with you on that.
Yeah.
Is this the part? I can't even watch this.
I don't know what's gonna happen.
Yeah, can you just find where the jump scare is?
Yeah, I'm trying. Let's see.
I'm so impatient. I can't even wait for the jump scare.
I don't know. I'm not finding it. I'll try again later.
So I'm also trying to find the highlights as I'm doing this. So basically I'm looking at corners or edges that could just use a little touch, and I'm literally just dotting it on to give it more texture.
Jonathan Villarreal. That's not Villarte, is it? That.
Oh, possibly. But Villarte's first name is Gary, so I don't think so.
That's right. No. All right. Sorry, Jonathan. Just want to make sure.
You do share a very famous last name.
You do. It's a good last name.
Oh, famous in my eyes.
Right.
Gary, you're famous in my eyes.
Every time I kept thinking he can't make that cuter, and he does. Tim's pretty good at that.
I mean, I definitely will say it. I feel like I could do more cute stuff. I mean, when I applied for Pixar back in the day, I mean, I always tell people this, but no one seems to believe me. But I actually applied for Pixar. I got in, but I didn't get into the American studio. I got into the Canadian one at the time, and I didn't want to move, so I actually turned them down. But like, I feel like I could do a very good job at like cute stuff.
You have that cute, the cat, the little witch cat. I love.
Yeah, everyone likes that witch cat. And I'm like, that was
the witch cat's so good.
I guess. Okay, so really quick, everyone. So I'm gonna make a new layer on top of my pencil layer. So now this is where I'm drawing on top of my pencil line. So I don't want to over bear it, but the area up here, I mean, this looks really rough to me. So I'm gonna color over some of this dirt and make it look more 3D centric. So that is what I will work on probably for the next 10 minutes.
Tejal says, in your reference picture, there's a small part of vibrant magenta pink. Almost looks neon. Would be interesting to test that color out for the eyes. I don't know, just thinking out loud. It's the part where the red goes into the white.
I mean, I think I may have sold myself on dark eyes, but I'm always willing to try. Let me finish this white part first, and then I'll give it a go.
Simon says, I've been enjoying digital a lot lately, but it's been hard learning by myself. It's almost like having to reteach myself a lot of things.
Mm-hmm. Digital is a lot of fun once you get the hang of it. Don't rely too much on the shortcuts. Remember that like your foundation is still what you should focus on more than anything. Oh, here we go. All right, that already feels better to me. So I actually masked out on top of the pencil layer. You can see here, I can paint over it. But a lot of that griminess, a lot of that dirtiness, I can just paint over.
Fidgety Fox says, this little guy is adorable. I like the black eyes much more now. He's like the radish spirit of Spirited Away. Spirited Away's son off to kindergarten. Aww.
Literally my favorite character in Spirited Away is the radish spirit. Or I guess like the weirdest favorite character. He makes me laugh. I remember watching it with my mom. My mom being like, what the hell am I watching right now? And I was about 11 or maybe I was 13. Oops. And the radish spirit would just make me laugh so hard. Especially when he's in the elevator and Sen's trying to like get around him. Oh my God, I was dying.
Could just imagine baby Tim just cracking up.
Oh, just dying. I thought it was so funny.
Kyle says, Grizzy seems so interesting. Gotta go, but talk to y'all soon. Good seeing you.
Bye, Kyle.
Goodbye, Kyle.
Oh, yeah,
Miss you
Kyle,
so much.
you would love Kyle. Or you love Grizzy.
Kyle, you would
love Kyle. You would eat him up.
We support self-love here. It's important, guys. Felix says, Alien Isolation on hard on first playthrough was one of the best and scariest games ever played. I also tried the hardest difficulty, but that one just seemed unfair and ridiculous.
You haven't beaten on the hardest?
Felix hasn't.
Have you?
Me, yes.
Oh, okay.
I literally have, I think, 99% of achievements. I just have to get the one where you have to get all the ID tags. The ID tags, sorry. And I just don't.
Super difficult?
I just don't feel like doing it, yeah. But I played through the game on the hardest difficulty without dying. That's how like help. I remember I got halfway through and died, and I restarted just to get that achievement.
Really?
Yeah, I was a little obsessed with that game. Jonathan Villarreal says Amnesia was a good game for that too. Yeah, that game, Amnesia, was, I think, like kind of what defined then what horror games are supposed to do. In terms of like, don't give them much defense. You have to hide. You have to either run. Even like scripted chase scenes, I think, were really fun from that game. I liked that. Where it's like a chase scene where you have to like do certain maneuvers to actually escape.
I feel like the less defense you give the player, the scarier it becomes.
Right. Well, that's why Amnesia, I think, was perfect because it was basically like you had no way to defend yourself. Because even Alien Isolation, they still give you the flamethrower and things to defend yourself. But yeah, Amnesia was purely like, there's no way. Well, kind of Outlast was like that too, where you don't have a way to defend yourself. If you're caught, you're basically screwed.
Oh, I think I remember that because that's the one where I watched the cult one, right?
Yeah.
I remember, if they caught you in a bear or whatever, you're dead.
You have the camera, you have night vision. Yeah, it's like...
Oh, that's right. That was a night vision one. That was kind of creepy.
Mm-hmm. That one I'm going to try to... I didn't finish it, remember?
You didn't.
The
you
second
stuck.
one? I did get stuck and I got frustrated. I got so frustrated.
Do you remember that?
Oh, Hannah! Hannah, hello! I remember screaming with you when you played Resident Evil and I watched. Yes, I mean, we don't talk about that, Hannah. I don't get scared and I don't scream.
Yeah, what's this? This revelation. Hannah, thank you for letting us know, because Josh tries to claim he doesn't get scared of video games. There's
like the jump scares that I clearly will like react to, but I don't get like...
I'm surprised at how much you don't react to. Okay, Josh playing VR, the Resident Evil one?
Yeah, I played Resident Evil.
Literally out of nowhere, and me, it was Kat was there. I think Justin was in the room. Out of nowhere, someone starts chainsawing Josh's arm off. He's in VR on the bed, so he's like this. So this is Josh, and he's playing, and then the VR chainsaw guy comes out. He goes, like no reaction at all. Meanwhile, here's me in the corner of the bed, and then here's Kat doing like this maneuver.
I'm just getting full blown out.
And then Josh is like right in the screen.
I mean,
nothing. There was nothing.
Hannah, the grandma in that game, was so scary. Oh yeah, the one that just like sits around the house in the wheelchair.
Yeah, you should come and play horror games with us this October.
Yeah, actually, Hannah, if that works out, you should come in October to come visit.
The house
Hannah's
will be
like my best
spooky.
friend. Hannah is my best friend. Because yeah, we're gonna play a correction. When I have to correct myself.
Good save there.
Great. But yeah, we'll play a bunch of horror games and watch horror movies. Our plan is to watch all the Halloween movies this year, since we did
all the Nightmare on Elm Street
last year. Yeah. I feel like
we'll be able to do more than that, because last year we had like New York Comic Con. We had a lot of distractions.
Oh yeah.
Because I kind of also want to watch either all the Friday the 13th movies.
Yes, I love those.
Well, just because the Halloween movies we could almost knock out in like a week if we do one a night. I don't want to do all in one day, because then I feel like they'll just blend together.
Do we watch the new Halloween movie just to like count it?
I mean, we can have it up. I will. Okay. I try not to talk bad about the movies I don't like on this channel. I try to encourage the movies I do like. But the new Halloween that came out in 2018, that year was the worst movie I watched the entire year. It was so bad.
I don't know. I have good memories around it now though, because it was
with
like,
Sean.
It was you, Sean, and I. We had like all the lights turned off in the house.
Yeah.
And the entire time we just beat on that film because it was so bad.
For that alone, I'll give it, I guess, some points.
Yeah. But
it's still the worst film.
Did you like the new Friday the 13th? The like newer, I'm not saying new.
Weirdly, but I haven't seen it.
Oh.
The
it
one
has
with
Kay, what's her name? The girl from Sky High, I think's in it.
What?
Yeah, one of the with the Disney girls, Hannah Bakers, right? Hannah Bakers.
No, Hannah
is a baker.
Reasons why.
Hannah, you're a baker though, but Hannah Baker. Wait, no. What is it? The Hannah Bakers. What's the name of
Hannah
those?
Baker's in it.
The girls from Sky High.
Hannah Baker makes her triumphant return.
Just to get slaughtered by Freddy.
That's terrible.
Hang on, Sky High. What's her name? I remember because I always wanted her superpower from that movie, Sky High. She was the plant girl.
Oh, like Poison Ivy?
Panabaker. Danielle Panabaker.
Panabaker?
Yeah, this girl. She was the...
Oh.
Yeah. She's in that Friday the 13th movie.
Oh my goodness.
Hannah says I'll skip any amount of school for you guys. Well then, yes, October. We're planning on basically just decorating the house and then just watching movies. Tigil says, do you ever play with the color of certain... Sorry, I feel like I'm losing my voice.
Yeah.
Like forcing it out. Do you ever play with the color of certain parts of the sketch lines? I love giving my sketch lines some color sometimes. It can change so much.
Yeah. I feel like I haven't done that too often. If I ever do, I do kind of the Tumblr or the old Tumblr thing of where you make it red. I've been a big fan of that. Yeah, I guess now I guess this is personal preference. I do like seeing my pencil lines. I think just so that people can kind of see that it did start as a pencil drawing. But I do like a good color line art. So I do know what you're talking about. And yes, I am definitely someone that promotes that. Even if I don't do it too often myself. Because I think some people use it really clever and they can really add to their line art just by making it a different color. I'm very happy with how this turned out.
This is so good.
Well, thank you, Sean.
He's so cute. Oh, don't forget to try the eyes also, just for...
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me do that really quick. Let's see if an overlay can hotspot it really quick. Ooh.
Oh.
Oh, you know what I don't hate?
It is kind of cool, especially when you get up close.
Maybe you're onto something, Tijla. Maybe you're onto something. You know what? Let me try... Because I do like the darkness. We'll
two different eye colors. One's green, one's the magenta.
I mean, we could try that. Yeah, let's see what that looks like.
That's cute. Oh, that's really cute.
Let's see here.
I just wanted a cat with two different color eyes.
No, I think I'm still into the green more. Wait, what do you think?
I think the green definitely sticks out more from a distance. Because yeah, from far away that almost just looks like one solid color.
Yeah, what do you guys think? Green or red?
Or both. That is on the table.
No.
That's
That's on the table. Oh gosh.
Felix says basically 95% of horror movies are bad. The good ones are an exception.
I've seen so many bad horror movies over the years.
Have you seen the Leprechaun movie with Jennifer Aniston? No.
There's sequels too. Have you ever? There's the famous one is Leprechaun in the Hood.
Oh my god.
I haven't seen that one.
No, the first one I thought actually was kind of fun. Plus, it was Jennifer Aniston. She's like baby doll.
Baby
I think it was
Aniston.
90s, early 90s. Yeah. I'd recommend the video game Observation. Oh, I've seen this.
Have you?
I've seen this. Yeah, I think I was going to play it last year. Observation, a spatial sci-fi thriller. The player is the station's AI. It's about what happened to the crew. It's really interesting for its atmosphere. Yeah, because it's more of like a story horror game as you're like figuring out what happened because the crew's all gone. So it's like uncovering the story. It's almost like Edith Finch, just like more of a scary, like darker.
Wait, does anything surprise or like scare you?
I'm sure there's some jump scare parts.
Like is the thing that took down the crew still on board?
I don't know. I just saw the trailer for it, so I don't know the full the full story. All right, so we're tied right now. Felix says green. Hannah says both colors look really cute, but I like magenta a bit more.
It's tough.
The magenta is kind of fun just because it's got like a cool contrast with the rest of the face.
I think I like what you guys were saying too about how it looks like he was pulled out of the dirt. So I'm gonna keep some of that darkness on the root parts.
He's a newborn.
Just ready for the world.
Also, Layers of Fear. I want you to watch. That's a good game. I don't know. Have you ever seen that one before?
Mm-mm.
Have you heard of it? Layers of Fear?
I've heard the name, but I don't know anything about it.
That's one. It's not. I call it more of like a haunted house kind of game because it's not like you're doing much. It's more just a walkthrough. So it's almost like being in a haunted house.
Yes.
Yes. But it is spooky, definitely, and there's jump scares and stuff like that.
Ugh. Not good with jump scares.
Oh, okay.
I'll watch you play.
But it's, I don't know, it's trippy because there'll be parts where like you're walking forward, and then if you turn around, what was behind you is completely different than what you just walked through.
What?
So to like do weird spatial like things like that kind of mess with your head. It's fun.
Oh, that'd be so messy.
Yeah. Unix says, you guys know the Dead Meat YouTube channel? They do podcasts about horror movies and kill counts with quite some insight in the movie, and the host is really fun and charismatic.
I don't think I've ever heard of that one.
Definitely sounds like something I'd watch, though, for sure. Those are like nice channels to have on while you're working, too.
I do watch, the only YouTuber that's like specifically with horror is this guy named Ryan Hollinger, I think his name is. I usually watch a lot of his analysis stuff on horror.
Is it good?
Yeah, I feel like he gives pretty valid opinions. I don't feel they're super biased, because sometimes with horror you get people are a little biased towards it.
There's definitely like a horror crowd too. That yes. Yeah.
Which I no disrespect at all, because I think, you know, everyone has their favorite genre, but I do like watching someone who will still critique a movie if it flubs in a lot of areas.
Tigel, we have another vote. Tigel says, Josh, I vote for both, but 2 colors in both eyes. Central Tigel Y. Central heterochromia iridum.
What did you just say to me?
You know, ask Tigel. Hang on, Tigel. Central heterochromia. I like how Google autofilled. Oh, it's people that have 2 colors in one eye, like this.
Oh, that's what I have. So look at the center of my eye. See how it's brown?
We've done this before, Tim. Yeah, it's like a...
So it like has a hazel, and then it splits into the green part of my eye. I didn't know that there was a name for that.
There you go. Tigel has diagnosed you.
Which one do you like better?
Central heterochromia.
So there's before overlay and then after.
Hang on, let me look over here to do it one more time.
Maybe it's just too strong. I think that's
yeah.
Okay, I am literally getting close to finishing this.
Oh, Tigel has that too. I have orange, gray, blue. That's... So it just
I know there's a name for it. I had no idea.
I wonder if anyone has it where like the ring is like a darker color and then the middle is the light color.
Oh, I'd be interested in that too.
Right? That'd be kind of weird to see. Like a good weird. Yeah, your eyes are interesting, and I feel like your color changes a lot too.
Well, it's mainly in the sun they look very like emerald.
Yeah.
Or not even emerald, like a warm, earthy green. But then in normal light, they just kind of look muddy, kind of like a gray mud. But yeah, only in the sun do they really like light up. Yeah, yours are just always a good blue.
You have like mood eyes.
Get out of here. Alright, how are you guys doing on your little dirt kids here?
I'm trying to see.
So if you ever want to make it look more planted in the environment, go underneath of all the layers you created. hit change to multiply, grab the background color, and literally, just with a soft brush, kind of go back and forth. You'll see when you turn that layer on and off. See how he looks more like planted in the world?
Looks like he's standing in a little puddle.
Or if you really want to add something new, make another new layer. We're going to add a gradient in the background.
Ooh. Oh, I like that.
Right? Let's see what the different colors are, because I don't know if I like pink on pink.
Does it do that gradient by itself?
Yeah, there's a tool that makes gradients for you.
I'll stop reacting. Felix says, I'm basically done just shifting sliders.
All right, this is the fun part.
Alice says, excuse me, Alice says, I'm so behind. Don't think I'll finish anytime soon. Sorry. You can always put it in the Discord channel, so in that stream follow along channel. And then I know Tim goes through and checks on them too even afterwards. So we won't be able to get to it in the stream, but we can still have Tim take a look at it. Julie says, doing horrible. XD. You're all good. Take your time. Digital says, mine used to be a bright blue with a vibrant copper tone around the pupil. Now it's more a gray with a brownish tone around the pupil.
Oh. They're very weird.
Unix says there is a name for everything. If not in English, then in some other language probably. Right? We didn't know. Central heterochromia iridium. Or isn't that mostly like Latin when it comes to like those names?
Probably.
Especially like a lot of medical terminology, I think, is based off Latin.
So really quick, everyone. So I combined all the layers into one. To do that on a Mac, it's Command-Shift-E. And you can see how now it combined it all into one layer. And then I Command-A to select all, Command-C to copy, and then Command-Z to undo everything, and then Command-V to paste. So we're watching that on YouTube, but that's probably easier to pause. But
it's
then
like cheat codes.
From here, you can do levels and all this other stuff as like the final adjustment.
This is so good.
Thanks.
So cute.
Yeah, I actually really like how this one turned out. But the reason I want to do that is to look at adjusting the color balance, and that's in the image menu bar at the top. See how it looks when we slide the bars around a little bit. Ooh.
Look at it there, but then look at this over here.
Like totally changes the dynamic of them.
Yeah, it looked better than the teak with that one.
We could always do before and after too when we're done. Ooh. Yeah, it's weird that I have to look at both.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't like that at all.
Well, like, it's weird because for a second there it was almost white on the background there, and then the screen had that color to it.
Oh.
Ooh. That's so warm. I like that.
I think I like it warmer too. Let's see what that looks like before and after. Oh, it looks so different on that screen than it does over here. Maybe I'll turn the opacity down just a little bit. And then lastly, I like to do a gradient map layer. So at the bottom, there's like a half circle. Choose gradient map, and you're done. But for real on here, you click the actual gradient here, change it to noise, choose OK, turn your opacity
Whoa.
down to like 15%, and then randomize. Whoa.
Tigel says, I got to go to bed. See you guys soon. Hopefully soon.
Bye, Tigel.
Bye, Tigel. Have a good night. Sleep well.
Thanks for stopping by. Ooh.
Oh, I like that. So like cozy feeling.
You can see what that looks like before and after. It's just a slight way to bring all your colors together. It looks so bad on that screen though. Like look on my screen.
Yeah, no, and that Zentique right now looks perfect right there. I like that a lot. I mean, this isn't horrible on this screen.
It just looks so different.
Yeah, it does.
I maybe do have to get a new Cintiq because if I'm gonna color more, I mean that looks a little rough.
Well, it's. I feel like it's mostly kind of whites and yellows. For some reason, just don't come out the same at all.
Yeah, it looks very like yellowy background, which I don't like at all.
Tigel says we need to do a casual hangout one of these days. Just draw and chat a bit. Okay, bye.
Bye, Tigel.
Bye, Tigel.
Why is it doing that?
Some tea and drawing and hanging out. I don't know. It's. It's not horrible though. It looks fine. I think that color even on the screen now, it looks cute. It's hard because I feel like you guys don't know. It just looks so different on Tim's Antique right now compared to what's coming through on YouTube.
Yeah, that's so weird. Well, I guess from here I'll do the final little touch-ups. Then we'll go ahead and see if any of you guys created this little radish sprite today.
You don't have like a filter on...
Oops.
You don't have a filter on OBS, do you?
No.
Okay.
Not on my Cintiq.
There's like camera filters or like... So yeah, probably it's just the Zentique then.
Yeah, it's just very strange. So I guess here's where I can add some texture though. Let's see. So I created all my own brushes back in the day. So this is called metal, but technically I can use it for this. There we are. Honestly though, I think I might be done. Like I can go through and do some touch-ups, but as a whole I'm like, yeah, this feels pretty good.
Feeling pretty good. Brazilla says the design is so great that I have the impression that every color you're going well. So difficult to choose. I guess that's like the good and bad of color because I think it's really fun. I mean, it's fun to watch you just do this even. But yeah, then also it's just the struggle of there's so many things that could look good with this. Combinations, yeah.
But color is definitely a lot to handle because some of it might be even knowing when to stop, and admittedly that's a problem I have because I keep wanting to like push it and then eventually it looks just a little too digital edited and you lose some of that traditional underdrawing that you have. So even right now I'm trying not to push too much further because I like how it looks right now. I don't want it to mask all the digital or all the traditional underwork here.
Basil says maybe you can check the screen color settings. Yeah, maybe we can take a look at that afterwards and just see if there's like settings in this Antique that are maybe adjusted or something.
Yeah, I mean I know that like this Mac is newer, so the color profile is going to be different on here. I could try to see if there's a way to match it.
Do you know, was this, I don't even know the name, was this like a, oh, this is LED obviously, right?
I think so.
Okay. Even the lighting and stuff, it could change it.
Which is probably the case here, I assume.
Priscilla says, can I ask you to switch in black and white to see the values?
Oh yeah.
Just for a few seconds.
Actually, good call. I should have been doing that more this whole time. So an easy way to do this is to click on the bottom of your Oops.
Wait, can I take a guess on this one? You're gonna click black and white.
No.
Darn it.
So there's a hue and saturation layer. And you change the saturation all the way down. So you can see before and after. So the values are still intact for the most part. Actually, yeah, I would say it still reads and it's legible. He's actually kind of cute in black and white.
Those little eyes.
Right? The color definitely makes it on this one. Yeah, for some reason. You know what I could probably do? Hold on. I don't know. It just looks a little strange on your screen. But anyways.
I don't know, but then look at it on my laptop. I think it looks really good.
Oh, it looks even lighter on your laptop. That's so strange.
Yeah.
So strange.
Sorry.
Well, if you guys want to start finishing up and posting in the Discord, I'll share your guys' little radish spray live, because I'm pretty sure I'm getting near finishing this. I mean, at this point, I'm just kind of going through and dotting my I's and crossing my T's.
Cute little fellow.
Yeah, I like how he turned out. And that's why I've been missing color, because I think I have a way of coloring that's quick, or at least quick for me when I already have a pencil drawing underneath. So I want to just explore that with some of my pencil drawings that I've done that I feel like could really benefit from a color pass. Because I don't think everything should be colored. I think there's a lot of my pencil drawings that look best in black and white. I mean, I know that's a personal opinion, but I think sometimes color could ruin some of the kind of the antique-y look of some of my work. And I think something like this, it's so much fun to color and draw something that has so much earth tone and such a vivid, natural pink, because then it doesn't feel out of place or unnatural.
Nice. Felix.
What?
Felix got... I know, I'm not spoiling it for you.
Okay. Oh, okay.
No spoilers.
Yeah, if any one of you drew along with me today, post it now. I know I'm kind of a little early.
I'll link the Discord again too, but it's on Discord under the stream follow along channel.
He's a cutie. Give little edges to these little scratch and bite marks to make them look a little more bit into the radish here. Yeah, he's cute. I think I'm done. Okay. Should I start seeing what you guys created here? Let me open up Discord. follow along. Here we are. Okay. Oh wow. Felix, here we go. I want to do a purple radish first, but the red just looked better. Still some purple in the eyes though. Ooh. Yeah, this has like a fun watercolor kind of vibe to me too.
I love the background too.
And I like that you make some areas glowing because then it creates a nice bounce vibe. Like especially within the leaf, it has this nice glowing green aura to it, and then it bounces onto the head of the little radish boy. I can tell, yeah, you had some fun with the color inclusion here. Zadric, I just followed what vonnart did. Oh yeah, there you go. Look at that. When I feel like this is a very fun subject matter to create because it's literally like 3 colors primarily. It's the green, it's the kind of reddish magenta, and then it's like brown, light brown color. And then those 3 already work pretty well in harmony. So having those be the base and then just kind of working off that is kind of fun. So that's great. I know this is kind of a weird follow along type stream because of it's basically coloring under my own. Oh, there's another one. I'm so out of touch with 2D digital art in my tablet. Oh, this is cute though.
It's adorable.
It almost looks like they grabbed these petals. Oh, the story that I just made was they wanted to create like this really beautiful wardrobe, so they wore these rose petals that they found on the ground. But then by the time they were done tying it and collecting it, the rose petals have withered a little bit, so they're kind of cracking. And I just feel bad for this little radish sprite because I feel like he or she wanted to just feel pretty, and these rose petals are already starting to like crumble and crack. But I do like seeing it in different colors. This gives a totally different vibe and story when I see this. It's very cute. What did you... Oh yeah, Fem, I don't think you're that out of touch with it. I think you did a good job with making it still feel fully 3D realized. Unix says, okay, I'm not finished and I ran into many problems, so a huge thanks once again. I'm sorry in advance. Another process I kind of went through, wanted to have a glow from the inside, but I had no cloud in a shade. Yeah, creating a glow can be difficult. It's like emitting light. Oop. And, well, let me finish what you wrote here. Especially lighter colors, I would like it. Also, that middle belt thing, I wasn't sure how to do shading colors for that. And then it goes into digital looking style. You talk about feels so textureless, and I gotta say I went into it with airbrush mostly, so that's probably my fault. So that, I guess you can kind of see here of what you're talking about is the airbrush can make it look very digital, and it's not that that is a problem necessarily. It's not my personal favorite look to something, but if you ever want to bring it back, I think sometimes you either got to erase it, or working with solid brushes or working with texture brushes can really help. I know I got sucked into soft edge brushes for a while when I was learning digital because it creates really nice smooth transitions when you're shading, but unfortunately it can look too soft and then it looks airbrushy like this. And honestly, I think the leaf and the belt and the blower half are fine. It's just the head, I think because of the way you shaded it, it does kind of read airbrushy in that sense. But if you ever want to make something look like it's emitting, you know what? Let me see if I can try to do that to yours really quick here. So I feel like other people might also be wondering about that. So what I would do is make the area around the emission much darker. So, and I think I'm going to keep this more uniform too. So this way, the lights will look lighter. So now, when you're doing the emission, I would honestly make area fully white or close to white. And then what a lot of people will do is grab like a hotspot color of some kind. So in this case, I'm going to grab like an orange. I'm going to make a new layer, make it overlay. Let's choose like a hot orange here. Actually, I'm going to use a different brush though. That one's too textural. So this is where you could actually use your soft edge brush. And then on top of that, I'm going to go with white. So usually when emitting light, a hotspot color will help do the trick. And oftentimes that is like a warm color. It's either like a red or an orange. And it's an easy way to give that illusion. So if you can see before and after, see how it creates more of the illusion that light's coming from the center of the head. And then from there, because I know you wanted to get more of your texture back, just try changing to a texture brush and literally trying to add some of that texture back onto the head. And then you can try to detail around it. But I think slathering on some texture back on can help you create that illusion. And I actually do like the idea of this kind of darker radish head. It kind of creates like this black knight or a black mage of some kind. But also be careful of where you're adding these really light spots. I would almost make this darker and more saturated like this. Because when you add white into your inside shading, I mean, I know it seems like you're trying to do that because of the emitting of the light, but I think adding too much of the white to the shading can sometimes desaturate or dull out some of the colors. And I would honestly bring some of the saturation back into some of it without it being too hot spotty. So like this is a little hot spotty. And then go from there. Because I think you do have some good foundations. I think the white kind of drowns it out though in the leaf. All right. Anyways,
Fem says this would be such a cute nightlight.
yeah, that'd be great. And then Alpa says, "Remember when I said I was doing horrible? I wasn't lying. To be honest, I didn't like it, but I was fun to try since it was first time for me. I can see the mistakes and feel like I destroy the original drawing because even in the scan." Let me see here. So I think you're literally in the same issue that Leo was running into with it being a little soft airbrushy. Just look at your edges and try to control more of where that contrast is, and don't be afraid to have strong, sharp edges in places. I definitely was like you when I started digital with trying everything to be soft and everything have like a glow and ethereal. But unfortunately, sometimes it can just look fuzzy. And I think a good way of breaking that was having some areas of where the subject matters separate. So like her head in the background, have a nice defined line to separate the two. And you don't have to make it too sharp, but just sharp enough where it doesn't look like the skin color is just bleeding into the background. And hopefully that will help you in your future drawings. Okay. Yeah, especially I can see these sharp lines. See how they get lost in the digital? Keep some of those sharp lines. And I think, especially here, you got a lot of fun with these separations. Don't be afraid to play up those again. And even like, see how you have such a good contrast of the hair and everything else around it? Well, because you have this such dark hair value with your pencil drawing, but then when you pull it digital, everything's dark, that contrast is then lost. So there is a weird transition period in learning how to balance that same value contrast and that same composition way of handling things when you go to digital, and making sure that when you look at what your strengths are in your pencil drawing, try not to lose that just for the sake of it being digital. Try to carry that through and over to the best of your ability. Okay, I think we're done today. I know I wanted to keep it a little shorter because I didn't know how long I could talk, and then me and Josh are going to go get Subway. Or I guess we have to deliver it. Yeah. Okay, well then, yeah, thank you guys so much for coming to this live stream. I hope you guys had fun. As always, we do these every Wednesday at 2 p.m. Central Time. starting probably mid-September, we're going to get a little more spooky with the streams and have some fun with that. So if you want to come, share your Halloween days with us, we would be glad to have you. I'm trying to think if there's any news. Oh, the cards should come within this week. So
as long as customs doesn't give us issues, but
yeah, they're at customs
Yes.
in California. So if we can get them to pass through, we should have back kit out within the next week. So we'll stay tuned on that. I feel like that's mostly it.
I think there's
I can't think of anything else at the moment, but yeah. Okay, well, take care, everyone. I hope you have a great rest of the week, and thanks for joining us as always. Josh, any last word?
You all are wonderful. Thank you so much.
You are all wonderful.
Yes.
Okay, take care, everyone, and hopefully we'll see you next week.
See you next week.
Okay, bye, everyone. Bye.